Welcome to episode 20 of the Young Adult's Guide to Planet Earth, the podcast where we try to figure out life through good conversation. I'm your host, Clayton Hamrick, and joining me as always, we have Sid Warren. What's up, Sid?
Nothing much, man.
That was a pregnant pause there.
I wanted you to say, "How are you doing, Sid?" And then I had something for that, but I always forget that you say, "What's up?"
How are you doing, Sid?
I'm doing fine, Clayton. Thank you.
Cool. And also, Hunter Bumgardner is here.
Who's that?
What's up, Hunter?
What's up?
Today we're going to be talking about hobbies that we have outside of Magic the Gathering, because I feel like we mentioned the fact that we play Magic the Gathering a lot, and that's one of our main hobbies. But
Wait, before you go on, did you guys know that we play Magic the Gathering?
we play Magic the Gathering. I mean, that if you didn't know we were nerds, now you know. We also have other hobbies, don't you? Wouldn't you believe it? Like, that doesn't take up 100% of my, takes up about 75% of my free time. Not really. Anyways.
We also all share podcasting as a hobby now. This has become a full-fledged, hobby.
Yeah, podcasting is a hobby.
Yeah.
All right, podcast over. That's all our only hobbies. So before we get into the episode, we got a quote of the week, and I'm stuttering because I'm trying to look up a quote because for some reason I never prepare for this.
Okay, in the meantime, if you're watching this, you're actually seeing our faces now. So
Hopefully, so like last week.
Oh yeah.
Last week the video had a little issues, but
Okay.
Hopefully this week
Well,
we have the video.
No matter what, if you like what you're listening to or seeing, please leave us a like, a comment. Actually, I would prefer a comment because I want to know who's listening to us. So leave us a comment and tell us how bad we are, tell us how good we are. Tell us what's on your mind, even if it's inappropriate. Just put a comment down there.
Inappropriate.
Yeah, just so long as I know that there's other humans on this planet.
All right.
Just so I'm comforted by that fact. That's really what I'm going for. But yeah, so for the podcast, like us on all our social medias, spread the word because you can help us grow, and we have big goals that we'll share with you soon.
Season 2. So
coming up.
So I guess we should say this is episode 20, meaning it's the last episode of our season 1.
Yep.
Which is just like an arbitrary thing we're doing. But so there's not going to be a podcast next week. We're going to take a 1-week break, and then we're going to come back at you hard with season 2, and there's going to be new things going on.
Oh yeah.
And if you really want to know, well, you're just going to have to listen 2 weeks from now and figure that out, because we're not telling you right now. That would ruin the surprise. I'm trying to figure out a quote here because I'm just gonna read the first quote, which is just bad. Like,
Perfect.
Sweet.
My personal hobbies are reading, listening to music, and silence. Why is that the first quote that comes up when you look up quotes about hobbies?
I feel like it's supposed to be a joke, right? Like the silence thing. That's something Ron Swanson would say.
It's probably actually supposed to be like really profound, but it's like comes off as a joke.
Oh.
So Edith Sitwell said that. Don't know who that is. I don't know. Silence is a hobby.
I don't know.
There's got to be some people out there who just like sit there.
But there's other ways to put that, like meditation or like relaxation.
Yeah, something.
Maybe not, man. If you just sit in dead silence and you're not thinking, is that meditation? Like, meditation has to do with like mindfulness and thinking.
I guess silence can be your hobby, but if that's the case, then
What if there was like an Olympic game of silence and you had to see who could be the most silent for the longest period of time?
I just imagine like 10 mics just surrounding some person's body, be like
They
just
can't.
like clenching
They can't
really
even
hard.
move. Like, they probably do it naked, so they don't move the
Yeah.
clothes on their body.
Exactly. Yeah.
Probably shave all the hairs too, so they don't accidentally get like blown in the wind or something.
That could be a sport of the future.
I think we
Dude,
just
I know
created
a ton
sport.
of people that could never do that. Like who's those people in your lives that you just know that they can't shut up?
Oh
for
yeah,
about?
just like super ADHD.
They can't even like sit down for 5 minutes without jumping up and saying something.
Yeah, I could be like that, especially when I drink coffee. I'm not ADHD.
I mean, but if it's a competition, then it's different because like then your competitive gene kicks in. You're like, I'm gonna be as quiet as I possibly can. Like when I used to play the quiet game as a kid, like sometimes I wouldn't take it seriously, but other times I'd be like, I'm gonna be the most quiet because I'm gonna win this game.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, "Where'd Clayton go?" And he's like,
I
literally
learned
behind you.
what does Drax say? And he's like, I learned to stand so incredibly still that I become invisible. And he's sitting there eating like
Yeah.
Cheetos or something. All right, so let's talk about our hobbies.
How are we gonna do this? What? Who's so inspired that they just want to share?
You.
Okay, well, fine, I am, I guess. Well, I like to collect things, and I have certain things that I like to collect.
Like Magic the Gathering cards?
I'm not gonna reference those, but that might be one of the things I collect. So the other things I collect are comic books, which I referenced last week or the week before, and I also have another thing where I really love books, and so I have this thing where I want to collect all the books that I've ever read, have them on a bookshelf, and then I also want to have a bookshelf of books I want to read, and then I just want to have so I can visualize all the books I've ever read and be impressed by it. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? And then I also have like a very soft spot for sci-fi paperbacks that have like, the yellow paper edges that are like 15 cent, 20 cent prices on them. They're just like look amazing.
Yeah.
So that's like the same thing as comics for me. Like the art is just so cool.
I think collecting is such a funny hobby because a lot of times you just collect these things, and with books, like you're saying, read them and everything, but
Yeah.
there's so many people who collect things and then all they do is look at them,
Yeah. Do you guys have
They
any?
don't do anything with them.
What do you guys collect? Because I feel like everybody collects
I'm a collector
something.
too. Like I collected pop things, the bobble head looking. What do you call them?
They're called pops, right?
Pop figures. or
Pop
whatever?
figures. I've collected comic books. I've collected manga books.
Yeah.
I've collected I've actually have what you're talking about, a bookshelf where it has all the books I've read and all the books I haven't read, and I like collecting pretty much anything and everything that I could use, but also I can sit down and I don't have to use. Like for something like an action figure, I don't really collect a lot of those anymore. I used to because I liked playing with them and stuff, and then I got to where I just didn't play with them anymore. So it turned into a collectible, and then it just got to the point where I didn't even collect them because I don't know. I find more value in stories, and then also more value in like things I can do something with.
Yeah. Sometimes things like that, like an action figure or like a figurine, is my way of expressing like my love for something.
Yeah, that is
Like-
also true. Like you've seen where my some action figures that I had in my childhood,
Yeah.
I sit on top of the books that they came from.
Yeah.
I like doing that too.
It's like that movie that just came out, Alita Battle Angel. Like, I loved that movie so much. It wasn't enough for me to go see it twice. I had to buy all the manga of it. So like sometimes collecting for me is just my way of doing something else. Like, because I want to be more of a part of something.
That's true. Like I feel like that's a lot of collecting is a way of because if you really think about it, like think of a movie that you watched back in the day, and then the Avengers, for example. I remember when we all went to go see the first Avengers movie. We were so excited, and what did we do? We got into comics because we were so excited about this thing happening in the movie cinema, for a huge event coming.
Yeah.
And it was all based on comic books and heroes and superheroes.
Well, that's not what necessarily got me into comics, but superhero movies in general have definitely kept that fire alive for me.
And I think that pushed a lot of people into comics books. Maybe not you, but I feel like I got pushed into it, and I feel like that ignited the passion for that too.
Yeah.
And also, another thing I do when it comes to hobbies is playing video games. And I've noticed myself where when I watch a movie in a genre, I'll play a video game within a genre. And that kind of goes back to what you're saying, putting more into it.
Yeah.
Because when I watch 310 to Yuma, I want to go play Red Dead Redemption 2. Because I want to be in that world. I want to be a part of it.
Sometimes it's not enough to just watch a movie or read a book. You need more.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why collecting, finishing runs, it just gives me an endorphin that just sets me off.
Yeah.
And if it's not finished, okay, I bought all those mangas, and the 9th one was sent to me, and it was the wrong edition. It's still the same book, but it bugs the heck out of me. But now those books have spiked ridiculous amounts, and so if I want to get that book, it's the cheapest I can find is $130.
Oh my gosh.
And so I'm I can't do that. That's stupid. But I don't know where I'm going. What do you collect anything, Clayton?
I also went through a period of wanting to collect all of the books I read, and then it kind of got complicated because I started listening to audiobooks, and then I got a Kindle. It's like in the early days of audiobooks, I would like, if I really loved a book, I would also buy the paperback version and then never even open it. I'll just put it on my bookshelf because it was like, it's like this trophy case.
Yeah.
And I have also a ton of books that I haven't read. Like a lot of times I just like to go to a used bookstore and a book's $3. I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
Maybe without even plans to read it at any point.
I have done that before.
Just because I want to
can
fill up my
relate.
bookshelf, so when people walk in my room, they're like, "This guy's probably pretty smart."
Dude, I can consider just books to be a hobby for me because one day I want to have a library.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, and I want it to just be a room that's dedicated to books and chairs and coziness, maybe a fireplace,
Yeah,
and also some good Wi-Fi because you can do other things in there, like chill on your tablet.
and a butler who serves you coffee.
I didn't say that. That would be a good place for a coffee machine, maybe some tea,
But
supplies.
no, you need a little closet that has a coffee machine, and then you need a butler.
I don't know how rich you think I'm gonna be in my life, but I don't think even if I was rich, I would have a butler because that just seems weird.
I'm gonna have a butler because why not?
Okay, I've been having a lot of visuals today, but I just imagine like Gerard Butler serving you tea because you're like.
I just imagine
a
the guy.
butler.
I just imagine the guy from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh.
That's who I think of. No, I also, this is make me sound weird, but you guys know the Disney show Jessie? This is like
No.
Kind of.
you
Yeah.
probably shouldn't because this is after we grew out of Disney, but
Really?
sometimes I'd still watch Disney shows. You know, I mean,
Is it that
guilty
blonde girl?
pleasure? No, it's I think she's got like redhead, but it's like about these kids who live in a penthouse in New York, and she's their nanny.
Oh, that sounds like the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, kind of.
It does. It's a lot like that, but like these people are rich, whereas Sweet Life they were not rich. Anyways, it was a rehash of an idea because it was everybody had already grown up that had watched Sweet Life, so they I guess were like, hey, this sounds great.
Yeah.
But there's a butler in that show, and I guess when I think about a butler, that's who I think about. Why are we talking about butlers?
I don't know.
I would think about Alfred.
Oh
Alfred,
yeah.
I need your help. Alfred.
Wouldn't
Crank
I
up the
just-
car.
But I can just be in a big old library, sitting in my cozy chair, and hey butler, like go do like.
See,
I'm gonna
I'd
be
be
nice. He's gonna be my
I
best
couldn't
friend.
call him
but
Butler. I'd have to call
I'm
him.
not
by
gonna
his
call him
name.
Butler. I just don't have a name for it
Just,
yet.
just say
Also, you
Quincy.
have to call him his real name. You know, you don't just get to name your butler.
I know, but think of it like a butler now. Quincy.
That could
just-
be part of your
Alfred.
contract, man.
Like it's just that the whole system is weird. Like they live with you. Like they don't have a life outside of you. I mean, I think in the modern day, people that have butlers like they get days off every week, but like for the
Yeah.
majority,
That just turns into a house maid kind of, right? Where they just come over
Yeah.
and clean your house and then that's it, or serve you, then go leave.
I think that's more common than actually like a full-time butler.
Yeah.
but like you see in TV, like these full time butlers, like is that real in real life? Like
It used to be,
Yeah.
but I think it's done away with now because
I don't know. I feel like
human
it's still a
rights, man.
thing.
I mean,
It's-
if
it's
you're-
not it's not inhumane.
If you think about cruise ships,
Yeah, that's
if you
a good
look
point.
at cruise ships, I know that they don't see anybody for 6 months,
Yeah.
and for 6 months they work every day. There's not they do have like days off, but it's like one day off. But
They're basically butlers.
in their day of not work or in their day of working, they work all day. Like there's
Yeah.
not I work 9 to 5. It's I work when I get up and I go to bed and I'm basically
yeah,
you
they
work.
work like 16-hour days.
Yeah, and it's so weird.
But I mean, there's nothing inhumane about having a butler because it's not like you're forcing people to do it. They make the choice to be a butler.
I feel like you'd have to have 2 or 3 butlers that rotate throughout the year so they can see
Yeah.
their family for like half or a quarter of
Well,
the
maybe they
year.
don't have families. Though. Like I think all the TV butlers, like they don't have anybody. They're just kind of loners.
So
Like they
shout out to butlerforyou.com because I'm checking out their services.
wait.
right
You
now.
can.
Dude, what?
How much does a butler cost?
Oh, I'm trying to find it. Hold on. I feel like they wouldn't put their prices on the internet.
Look, even if I never get rich enough, which I'm probably not gonna get rich enough
Hold
to
up.
have a butler.
You're saying I could be a butler right now?
You can apply for a job on here.
Dude, there's a lot to learn to be a butler, though.
There is. There's adequacy.
Adequacy?
Okay, available house
Eloquency?
manager. That's what I think they like to be called now. The
House manager? I like it.
/butler/Kurt.
Cobain?
Maybe that's a Available personal assistant. That's much more common.
Well,
Okay.
so what I was gonna say was like, if there's a way for me to rent a butler for a day,
Yeah.
I've at least got to do that at some point in my life to get the experience.
Okay. Yeah, so you have to get a free consultation to like get pricing because it probably depends on what you want. Like if you want a butler that's there 24/7, it's going to cost a lot more than a butler that's like there from 6 to 9 after you get off work that'll cook you dinner and get you some.
Dude, that's what I really want is a personal chef who only
Yeah.
like they only come to my house at, a couple hours a day, but they prep my meals, they cook me dinner. Man,
Yeah.
one of these days, maybe we'll just have robots. Like, what am I even thinking? We're just gonna have everybody's gonna have this. Gonna be a robot.
Yeah, if you think about it, yeah, it's most likely robots.
If you have the right mentality, you do have a personal chef. You just have to drive there and pay money for the food.
Wait a second. Do you think if we had robots?
I'm talking about restaurants. Just one.
Yeah, but that's not personal.
True.
If we had we had robotics that were becoming butlers. Do you think they'd be sold as the same price as a butler?
No.
It would be cheaper in the
Think
long
about
term
it.
because you wouldn't have to like pay them each year. It'd be a one-time payment.
So like,
or it could be like a subscription service.
True.
oh, dude, that
I mean, that's the way. That's the way to make money.
Yeah, that's true.
Subscription.
Well, see,
services.
I'm thinking deep in the future when money doesn't exist anymore, and like everybody's just issued their personal butler.
What's the point of that?
What do you mean?
This is like Wally when everybody just has a cart that
Dude, I
takes them
swear,
everywhere.
if we don't have money, there's nobody's gonna work. Nobody's gonna. I feel like we
That's
just
okay
evolve.
though. Why do we need to work?
Because I don't know. There's just something deep in down in us that we need to work. If we don't work,
I think we
something
would work. I think
happens.
we'd work on our passions more.
yeah. But I'm just even that like
Would we even have passions?
like would we have passions if we knew we could do anything?
Maybe the
we
world
wanted?
will just end before that, and we won't have to worry about it.
I think it might.
I think money fuels
might be.
passions because like money has fueled my comic book passions because like I've been able to make money on that throughout the years and
Yeah.
it's like made it more it's connected it better to me instead of just being like a tactile thing. It's also like
But I also think
stimulating in
I
that
also
way.
think it just makes it like reasonable to have as a hobby.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like without that, you wouldn't be able to do it as much.
But then you got other hobbies like mine. Like I ride dirt bikes every once in a while, and that's just completely a sunk cost with like repairing it, getting gas, driving there, paying to get in. So it's not always like that. But see, then in that case, like you get that endorphin, like that high from riding.
Yeah, I don't think it's a sunk cost because it's a sunk monetary cost.
Yeah,
because you're getting something out of it. It's not like you just do it and you're
Well,
like,
that's
I
why
hate this.
That's why we do hobbies because either we enjoy it, and then I don't think the money thing is the whole picture because if it was that, it would just be more of a job for me. But which it's not.
Like a side gig.
It's kind of like I think for me a perfect hobby is like if I get to make some money on it, and I also like love doing it.
Yeah.
But that might be a passion at the same time. I don't know. Who
Well,
knows?
Anyways.
What are you guys'? What's another hobby?
Well, I also collect pop figures.
Yeah, you have some
Kind
like,
of.
nicer ones, don't you?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of other things I collect. I used to collect yo-yos.
Can you do the yo-yo tricks?
I can do like the simple ones. I can walk the dog and rock the baby. Do around the world.
Yeah. When I was a
That's
kid,
my extent.
I used to do the walk around the world, and I'd get so excited.
Whoa, dude! When I figured out how to do the rock the baby, I thought I was a genius. It's actually
I don't know that
it's
one.
really easy, and
Yeah.
it's like, yeah. What else?
Is that your hobby now that you're just not telling us? Like you're
That
a
I yo-yo collector?
Yeah.
No, I wish.
I was thinking about coming into this like with some ridiculous hobby, like I don't know, like a polka singer. Like something that's just ridiculous. Well, if you're a polka singer, that's awesome. But like, do people sing in polka, or is it just kind of like?
I think it's just music, like
Yeah.
instrumental stuff.
But if I was a polka singer,
That'd be pretty unique.
yeah.
I'm just trying to. I don't think I collect anything else. I feel like I'm brain farting right now.
You collect the memories of
collect-
your experiences.
I collect the souls of my enemies. That's a hobby of mine. Is
Jeez.
on the weekends, I'm a ninja assassin.
A vigilante.
What defines a hobby though? Let's talk about that. Like,
Whatever makes you happy, I think. Like what you enjoy. Like
So
when
what if you
when you
can't
get
do
off
it a lot,
work
though?
and you don't just lazily sit in bed and watch TV.
I think TV
That's
can
your
be a
hobby.
hobby though.
Wow.
Because like if you're really into TV and like
True.
into TV history and like
Well, then basically, like, whenever you're off work, whenever you're done with schoolwork, whenever you have free time, like, what are you doing? I guess that
what do you fill your free time with? And if you literally just, okay, I'm done with school, I'm done with work, I'm done with homework, and I'm just going to watch Netflix, that's your hobby.
Yeah.
Because, like,
that's everybody in America's hobby.
Yeah.
In the world, probably.
Everybody has a Netflix hobby.
Yeah.
But what if
Or
you,
Hulu, because
what
some
if you-
people don't have Netflix.
That's me. I don't have Netflix.
What if you don't like watching Netflix, but it's the only thing to do right that moment, but you'd rather be doing something else, but you can't because like going to the lake, that's another hobby of mine. I like doing that. Like, I like hanging out with you guys at the lake, and like I miss doing that, but I haven't had a chance to do it in so long.
We've been out of season.
Yeah, like out of season.
Well,
Like
I don't
skiing,
know.
though,
Like,
we haven't gone skiing either. It's just
yeah. I don't know.
sucks.
I do see what you're saying because, like, it's just so easy nowadays to fill your time just watching Netflix and stuff. It doesn't feel like a hobby. I don't think it's a hobby unless, like, you're passionate about what you're watching.
Yeah.
Like, I think watching anime and stuff is more of a hobby, but, like, just laying in the bed and watching Friends, that's not really a hobby.
That's depression.
It's not depression, man.
that's some depression right there.
Laying in bed and watching Friends is not depression.
It's are you saying oppression?
No, you were saying depression.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying depression. Yeah.
How is that depression?
Because
You don't think I'm enjoying myself?
I don't know. I just feel like Friends is something you watch when you're depressed, and that way you feel better.
Well, that might be you, man.
I don't watch Friends. I stay away from that.
I think there's probably a high correlation between depression and people watching reruns of Friends.
Exactly.
I can see that.
Thank you. That and The Office.
Yeah. When I'm sad, dude, I get on The Office and I'm like, where's Dwight? Where's Dwight? I need to see Dwight do something stupid right now.
Exactly. Like that was me in like sophomore year.
I guess I've never been sad because I've never done
You
that.
can't relate to that? What do you do when
Nah.
you're sad?
I'm not a big Netflix guy. Like, I'll watch a lot of YouTube videos, and I'm not trying to sound like cocky or anything. I don't know. I try to learn things.
No, that doesn't sound cocky.
No, I don't know, but I don't want to be like, you guys are watching Netflix. I'm trying to learn.
Well, that's not the only thing I do when I'm sad. I'm just
Yeah, but like, where a lot of people would like sit there and watch Netflix, I'll just like watch YouTube videos. And when I say learn things, I mean I'm not like learning difficult things. A lot of times, just in general, watching the YouTube channels that I'm subscribed to teaches me things.
Yeah.
And that's what I get out of it. Like, I have to justify my actions. But okay, is this entertaining? Is this educational? Whatever, you know. So
that's why I love Vsauce, because those things that I'm learning, like, I don't really need to know them, but it's such good trivia, and like he dives so deeply into things that.
Are you talking about Michael Stevens?
Yeah, and
You're talking about Dong?
yeah, Vsauce and Dong, they're like
Yeah, they're
the same thing, right?
I mean, Dong is Vsauce, but
I watch more Dong, but I couldn't
I just
remember the
think
name of
the
it.
funniest Dong is.
Did he do that as a joke, or is it?
It definitely. He's such an ironic kind of guy.
Yeah.
So there's this YouTube channel called Dong, and it stands for Do Online Now Guys. But
He really had to
Dong.
make a stretch for that acronym, like.
Well, that's just his type of humor, though.
But
like,
my point is, you can tell that he built the acronym around the word dong.
Oh, definitely.
Not the.
oh,
yeah,
definitely, yeah.
okay.
He's like, this is a funny thing to name a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But
I
then
li- I
like,
that.
the YouTube channel is about science and stuff. Like, I love that channel because it's so entertaining, and you learn by having fun.
Yeah.
And he's hilarious, dude. His intros to the videos were just super awkward.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm a fan too, man. It's always entertaining, which is hard to sometimes do when you're trying to like teach somebody something.
Yeah, and like another thing about learning that some people get wrong is like, I don't think there's no pointless learning. Like,
Yeah.
maybe I'm never gonna use this cool little science thing I learned. Like, maybe I'm never gonna use that in my life, but there's a point to it. Like, it expands your mind, and the more you expand your mind, the smarter you are in other subject areas.
Yeah. I have a perfect connection. You're collecting knowledge.
Yeah, dude, there we go.
There, it ties it all together.
Collect knowledge.
That's a nice ribbon for our package.
Your dong package?
Our packages. That's just a package.
We're talking about dongs and packages, man.
What's the acronym for package? Because we can't say inappropriate things on here.
Well, package is not an inappropriate word.
In the context, it is.
Well,
People actually ceasing. Never mind. I tried.
people
Finish it in the comments, everybody.
actively C for seeking. So people actively seeking knowledge.
In
There's
Narnia.
there's no A, but
Wait, I forgot the
package.
word. What's the word again?
Package. People actively seeking knowledge
I
about.
forgot the word.
Okay, here I got it. People actively seeking knowledge about good
Etiquette.
etiquette. Yeah,
Perfect.
and
I still think we
and
should
you have
change
to
the C.
remember C is for seeking.
Actively. There's another word for seeking, though. Come on. With a C.
But it starts with a C.
Coercion? No. Containing knowledge.
Contemplating.
Contemplating.
That works.
People actively contemplating knowledge. What was he? All right,
About.
no, let's get away from this. This, is,
Okay.
gonna- this
Okay.
is too much for
Yeah,
me.
this is weird.
So collecting, man.
Yeah. Collect and
I used to collect coins. Actually, I used to have a little book that. Actually, I didn't collect coins. I did the same thing every little kid does, and I tried to collect one from each state. I can't call
yeah.
that a coin collection.
my grandma gave me a complete one, so I didn't have to do any of it.
Oh, my God.
Well, you know they sell those, and they're like brand spanking new quarters that have never went through
Yeah.
circulation, so it's not even genuine.
Yeah. That reminds me though, I did collect Mercury dimes for a while.
Mercury
The-
dimes.
Yeah, the ones that are like majority silver, and I think I got like almost half. But that, like, there's some Mercury dimes, like there's one in particular that's worth a lot, like hundreds of dollars. I don't know.
Nice.
Jeez.
I don't know. I got into that like randomly. Like it was tied into comics 'cause I went to a comic store, and then my dad took me to a coin store right after, and I was like, oh, this is cool too. It's like the same kind of thing. You try to get runs of things.
He's trying to get you into his hobby.
My dad does like coins, but he doesn't do like I do. Like with comics, I just buy, like I go for the keys, the more expensive books that hold value instead of like having a lot. But my dad just wants a lot. He doesn't care the value or significance. He just looks for like the flashy, shiny thing. So he understands value, but like to him, it's just about like the texture and the feel and the look, which is interesting because that's how some people are, and that's awesome too. You know, it's not always about value. And like for me, this collecting hobby is much more. What's the word? It takes so much more energy because I do put so much money into it, and I could. Some people would have just as much fun with like some cheap 50-cent books from a box that, you know. So I don't know where I'm going with that, but I need to rethink that in my hobby a little bit. I shouldn't. All my hobbies seem to involve like a lot of money. Which
I feel like my
That's what a
collecting.
hobby is, man. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you have a hobby without money? But
I feel like my collecting is just a bunch of hoarding. Sometimes I catch myself hoarding. I'm like, nope, gotta get rid of all this stuff. Don't need it
Yeah.
anymore.
oh, dude, I don't want to talk about Magic the Gathering too much, but I have so many cards that just sit in my closet.
dude, if you want to take the initiative and like let's get together and donate these things because I do too.
Well, yeah, I mean they definitely need to be donated, but
But see, I just have this feeling in me. I'm like, one day some of these cards will like spike up to $1, and they're worth like 10 cents now, and I'm like, I gotta save them for that person. I'm like,
that's a 10 extra turn, dude.
Now you're starting to sound like those. Oh gosh, those people that keep the cars in the back of their
yeah,
houses.
there you go. That's kind of me sometimes. I mean,
Like think about like how many people you drive by and you see 15, 20 cars in there.
I'm very tempted to buy like an old Mustang, like just body, like because those things are only getting more expensive, and I want that car one day, like a nice
Like how old?
67.
67.
Yeah,
I like it
Fast-
67,
fastback.
69. Yeah, fastback.
Oh yeah,
And I want to buy it now. So
it's
like
John
down,
Wick's car.
yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
Dude,
I
have you seen the
love
trailer
that.
for John Wick 3?
It looks- it
it's
looks
so good.
Yeah.
Erica was looking at, or she was watching it. She's like, "This is so stupid," and I'm like, "Babe, this
What?
looks awesome."
It's just dumb action, man.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
It's not
okay,
dumb,
So
it's
I went and
action.
saw this little side tangent. I went and saw Us this past weekend.
I did
Oh
too.
dude,
You went and saw it?
Yeah.
Have
really?
you seen it?
No, we finally went to see Captain Marvel.
Oh,
This
nice.
weekend.
Dude, you didn't talk about that today. Us was really good though. I really liked it. It's like Jordan Peele's really refreshing the horror genre, like making it. Instead, it's just not all these stupid psychological
Yeah.
demons, and
It felt like a comedy horror. Like if
it was
somebody
good. There was a
had-
lot of funny
Really?
moments.
Yeah.
It was Jordan Peele, man. Of course, it's comedy.
It's so weird because like you see what's the movie called where they do just like
Get Out.
Get Out? Yeah,
I haven't seen that one yet.
you haven't seen
good.
Get Out?
I know
It's good.
it won
Do you
some
think
Oscars.
that's a
I think.
comedy?
No, it's a horror movie.
Okay,
Like, that's
so,
what-
Well,
he-
how is Us a comedy movie?
You just have to see it.
It's a horror movie, but there's just a lot of funny elements to it because that's just how his writing is.
Dang.
But I don't know. It's just really refreshing to the horror genre. I guess, I mean, this kind of goes into hobbies. Like, movies is a hobby of mine.
Yeah,
I like following the movie scene and seeing.
I feel like we all share that because we used to go see all the Marvel movies together.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been really in, like, film's not really a hobby of mine anymore, but I really was into film and like the technique and all that stuff for a while. So that makes movie going really fun for me because I get to analyze movies on a little bit of a deeper level.
Yeah, and we've all been involved in like low budget filmmaking too. Yeah, like
we need to do some low budget filmmaking.
I agree.
for our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We should have some videos.
What am I
going on.
talking low budget? We're gonna do some high budget stuff, man. We're gonna need to
Some
start a
film.
Kickstarter. About
What
50
would we
50
do?
grand.
Listen,
Let's write a script.
in our D20, we have a write a story one where we spend an episode writing a story. And one day I want us to hit that, and
Yeah.
we'll use that story
And we'll
to make a movie.
We'll make a movie.
or just an episode on YouTube or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Let's just make a movie about us, like
Yeah.
doing young adults guide. I don't know, like
make a documentary about our podcast that's 20 episodes old.
no, or we just like make a sci-fi about us.
Well, actually, this podcast doesn't exist.
It turns out we're in another dimension, speaking to a dimension
Well, I mean,
that's not our dimension.
I think the original premise of the podcast was that we're actually thousands of years in the future telling you how to live your life thousands of years in the past.
Yeah, and we have like a whole crew that ciphers through everything we say to make sure it applies to your culture because we don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we're
mean,
actually
like,
talking a
we could
different
tell you the
language.
lottery winning numbers right now, but
That's
they
no
they
fun.
actually won't let us legally do that. We'll get murdered for it.
Yeah,
Our legal team's all
it's
over us
against
already.
the Time Force.
Yeah, because I mean,
law
we don't
and
want to
stuff.
change the past. We just want to inform the past.
Yeah, Time Force will get on us for that. You know,
I feel like we'd have more significant things to say than we do because we just like just talk
no,
about
but that's the thing.
hobbies.
They get on us if we say something significant.
Yeah,
like,
true.
I mean, more
We have to
significant
act like
than
we're
what
not
we've been
really
talking
in the
about.
future, but
Yeah, have
we
to act
probably
like
should. We probably shouldn't have said that right then. They're
Oh,
probably
crap! They're gonna come after us.
Well, they'll just filter this out. If this leaks through, then this is some good stuff. So listen to the whole episode.
Let's talk about Captain Marvel real quick since we've all seen it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since Hunter finally went and saw it.
My favorite part was the cat.
The Flarkin, dude. It wasn't a cat.
The Flarkin, bro. The
I'm sorry,
Flarkin.
I forgot what it was called.
Goose.
I'm
It was a
kinda
good it was a
disappointed
fun
that That's
movie.
the reason Samuel lost his eye.
Samuel.
I know, but that makes his character even better.
I don't know, man. I thought he got shot or something like.
No, but
something
that's
bad
cool.
happened.
Like the fact that he's this dude who's like, yeah, I'm awesome. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and then he got a scratch by a Flarkin.
Yeah, that's true. I think this movie made him, or that history with that woman made him into Nick Fury. Because before that, I feel like he wasn't like Nick Fury like as
Well,
we see him.
Yeah, but he was also younger, so like
Yeah, that's
he's
true.
seen so much crap over the years. That's why he's so hard now.
Yeah.
Did they have to CG his face like for the entire
Yeah.
movie?
Yeah, and they did a good job.
Yeah, they did. Because I didn't even notice. I'm like, is this makeup,
They
prosthetics?
Tarkin him to death.
Yeah.
It's better than Tarkin though.
They did
Yeah.
the same thing with the other Shield guy, right? Like the head of Shield. He's
Oh,
like,
the Coulson.
Coulson.
Yeah.
Wait, he's not the head of Shield.
he's
But
not. He's an agent of Shield.
Yeah.
I thought he was like the head of it. In the future, he's the head of it, isn't he? Because he's the one that
He's like-
seeks out like for.
I mean,
all
he's
the-
way higher up. He's not like the head of it, but he's
Okay.
way higher up in the ranks.
I got you.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think about like the whole story?
I really like how Marvel is tying everything together because it feels like comic books. Like that's how they
Yeah.
do that. And I think it's exciting. Like that's really all I can say about it. To me, it was just an exciting movie that was really entertaining. And to me, it just makes me even more excited for the upcoming movie because
Yeah.
it's all tied together.
It was
thing-
entertaining. It was fresh. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't the cookie cutter plot they usually do. There
Yeah.
was a nice twist in there, and
Yeah, that twist I didn't see coming. Well,
Yeah, that's true.
somewhat. I kind of somewhat did. The whole memory loss thing is kind of a movie trope where they have memory loss and they're actually on the wrong team.
Yeah.
But also, I want to say, like, how did the Tesseract get in space if Howard Stark had it? Because after we watched that movie, the next day I watched Captain America, the First Avenger, and Howard Stark had the.
he gave it to her.
So he gave it to.
He gave it to the what's her name, Marvel,
But why?
to do the research she was doing
Also,
because they were
I
on good
don't-
terms.
Was that talked about in the movie?
No,
Marvel in the comics was a guy, so I wonder
Yeah.
why they made it into
Yeah.
a girl.
and also that's what I was saying this a couple weeks ago. Like in the comics, the Kree are never good. It was like this. It was this big twist for everybody because the Kree are always bad guys in the comics.
Yeah, and I was Ronan the Accuser. I was like, oh, like I didn't get they were the like when I first started watching, I was like, Kree, oh, it's just another alien race. And then I saw
No.
Ronan, and I was like, blew my mind because then I thought back to Guardians of the Galaxy. I was like, oh,
they're
Kree.
a big part of like Thanos' existence. I mean, because they
Yeah, well,
they work for Thanos.
Is that who invaded Earth?
Yeah.
I thought it was like the Scourge or something.
Well, no, yeah, no, they didn't invade Earth, but they had a part in that.
Yeah, or something about it. Like, I don't know. It was so confusing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I thought the same thing about the Tesseract, but I went and like I watched this YouTube video about it, and it's not like actually they didn't say it and it's not canon, but that's the only thing that makes sense is that Stark like gave it to her
Yeah.
to do, because I mean she was researching things that were going to help out Shield.
In the first Guardians of the Galaxy, did Ronan address that he was coming for Captain Marvel, or did they kind of just tie that in later?
Or the first Guardians of the Galaxy is after Captain Marvel.
But that's when Ronan comes down to Earth, and fights Guardians of the Galaxy, doesn't he?
That's not on Earth.
That was another planet.
That was
was
on
on,
the planet with the star. thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
does that tie into Captain Marvel at all? Because I can't remember. It's been so long.
No,
It doesn't. Okay.
no,
No,
because
yeah.
Captain Marvel was before that.
Captain
If
Marvel
she,
was set in the
but
90s.
he said he's coming back for her.
Oh yeah.
So I just thought maybe this tied in.
Well, there's just I don't think it ties in. I think she has like after Infinity War, after Endgame, she is contracted for 5 more movies. I think there's got to be a movie between that the Captain Marvel and like something in the 90s that we haven't seen yet. Probably something like that.
That's another thing I liked about that is I liked the time, the era.
Yeah,
It felt really cool.
it did, man. Blockbuster Video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I like X-Men too, because they went back in time for like
Yeah.
the Days of Future Past
In the 70s.
block.
They went to fix all their problems with their past movies and
Yeah. That's what I was going to
let's
talk
use
about.
time travel.
Yeah.
That's
Time
just
travel.
that's just the fallback
Days of Future
plan.
Past was actually like an arc in comics. I
Yeah.
never read it though, so I
Dude.
don't.
Speaking of X-Men, Dark Phoenix looks so good.
Yeah, so
like,
please explain to me, how is that even happening? Like, is that the new universe?
yeah, it's the same. Everything after Days of Future Past is like the same, like fixed timeline.
Yeah. So X-Men 3 was Dark Phoenix, but they like reset it, so now it's even earlier. And Dark Phoenix is happening in
Yeah, it's earlier.
in like when everybody's smaller, younger.
It's gonna be crazy. I mean, she's so powerful, man. And she's.
Do you think she's more powerful in this movie than in X-Men 3?
I think she's gonna be Thanos.
So, spoiler alert: there's a member of the X-Men that actually defeats Captain Marvel in the comics. Her name's Rogue.
Yeah.
And you've seen her in like the original X-Men before this
Wait,
new
why
set.
does she defeat
Yeah,
Captain?
Because
they-
she like, I think she touches her or something. Because like Mystique takes her in. And
Wait, you're confusing me. All right.
Well, I won't get into that. But
Rogue-
anyways, Rogue can. She basically like, you know how in the movie.
Yeah, I know what you can do, but I'm saying
They didn't
like,
do her justice in the movie, but
Yeah.
she's powerful.
Yeah.
And she basically sucks Captain Marvel's life force and all her powers out of her.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Dude.
she becomes a new character. She's no longer Captain Marvel because she doesn't
Yeah.
have that power. So I wonder if they're going to incorporate that in like movies.
I don't know.
Dude, what?
But another thing I'll say about Captain Marvel, I was worried they were gonna make her too powerful, and they didn't. Like she's
Yeah.
super powerful. She's probably on Thor's level of power, but they still showed like that's why they brought in the fact that she was a human. Like she still got these human elements.
Yeah.
And
We still haven't seen all her power though, because at the end of the movie, she was just learning it.
Yeah.
You know? So there's.
Not
I think-
only is she just human, but she has Kree blood in her.
Yeah.
She's like a hybrid of Kree and human, and then also like something else entirely, like maybe a kind of like Star-Lord was when he's half immortal.
Yeah.
Think
Yeah.
about that. That's crazy too.
I don't know, man.
Can X-Men and all this stuff ever intermingle? Because Disney owns it already.
I think it will eventually. I think they're waiting till after Endgame to like wrap up these big storylines, and then these new characters are gonna be the ones interacting with the X-Men.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
excited
Captain
for
Marvel
that.
definitely has a chance to interact with the X-Men at some point.
There was leaks of like Deadpool maybe being in the movie. Also,
There's no way Deadpool's in the movie.
Wolverine. But like I know there's not. I know there's not any way, but I like hoping. Cause like
When-
that's the same thing with Spider-Man. Like think about it. Like before we saw a trailer with Spider-Man, we were like, "There's no way they would put Spider-Man in it."
No. What I'm saying is, based on the way Deadpool's movies have to be made, like how he talks to the camera and all that stuff. When Deadpool is in a movie with a bunch of other characters, that's gonna be played down a lot. because that just takes you kind of out of the movie. Like,
Yeah, that's
but in
true.
Deadpool standalone movies, they can do it all they want.
Yeah.
It's just really hard to put Deadpool in a movie because of how his
He
character.
just steals the show.
Yeah,
Yeah, I see what you're
And
saying.
he's not family friendly.
Yeah, he's not
Yeah.
family friendly.
he's gonna become a lot
Family
more.
friendly, everyone dies.
Wow, that's a good point.
Well, I mean,
It's exciting. And they didn't really die. Let's all be real.
They
There
did.
was no blood and guts.
They disappeared.
that's the only reason that it could
They got cremated.
get
Sid.
the rating it did. 'cause-
Cremated. It's even worse.
No, they did. They didn't burn. They just got dusted, dude.
That's cremation.
No, there's no fire involved.
From how's
One-
it go? From ashes to ashes and dust to dust.
Did they say that in the movie?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That,
Alright.
I just needed to get this movie talk out of the way.
Yeah.
Which I mean,
Captain
Mhm.
Marvel made me excited more so because I'm not in the popular opinion here, but I wasn't ever super excited for this new Avengers movie just because it's too much for me. I like singular characters.
yeah.
Like I like the Doctor Strange movie. I like the Iron Man movies. I like this Captain Marvel movie. Guardians of the Galaxy is great because it's about a team. But when it's like all mashed up together, it's too much for me.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
I love it
hectic.
when that happens.
I do too.
I love it when because I like seeing different dynamics interact. Like Iron Man and Star Lord. That was awesome. Like
Yeah.
I want to see that more often. I want to see Tony Stark talking to Doctor Strange. Because if you think about it, Doctor Strange and Tony Stark and Star Lord all kind of have that arrogant,
Yeah.
tough guy, but like not tough, but like they all have a little bit of each other inside of them. Like Tony
Yeah.
Stark is more charismatic than Star Lord and Doctor Strange, but Doctor Strange I feel like is a little bit more smarter than Tony, and Star Lord's a little bit more compassionate than those three. But they're all like kind of the same kind of personality type almost, and I
Dude.
just love seeing that.
I can't wait to see Rocket interact with War Machine, cause
Why?
Because he loves weapons so much.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
Who's War Machine?
the
uh,
Rhodey,
Rhodey, yeah.
the guy in the
Iron Man, then the Steel Man.
Oh, so it's like the other Iron Man,
yeah.
yeah
the silver one.
yeah War Machine.
No,
And you're
no,
talking
yeah,
about
War
Rocket
Machine.
Raccoon?
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
why I just went blank on
But like,
that.
cause in the trailers he's riding on the back of War Machine. He like
Oh, really?
yeah, and
Yeah.
just
I haven't seen the trailer yet.
because he's
You haven't seen the trailer for the
No.
new
for
movie?
Endgame,
I
dude.
haven't.
Dude, what are you
It's
doing,
so
bro?
hype. But anyways, he
Ugh.
just loves weapons so much, and he probably like looks at War Machine shoot, and he's like, what?
He's like, "We're gonna get me one of them."
yeah,
Dude, I can't wait to see Thor and Captain Marvel interact because their powers are kind of
Well,
the same.
Yeah, they're the most two powerful as of right now.
Yeah, and
and,
they're
like-
also like the same kind of archetype where like Thor's more like he knows he's on his own level when it comes to the other Avengers. Even you see that in when the Vision comes to life,
Yeah,
Thor just comes out of nowhere and is like, I know what to do, like, and he doesn't even listen. Everybody else is like, whoa, what are you doing? Like, he doesn't even listen to him. He just does what he needs to do and he does it.
yeah.
And I feel like Thor knows that he.
I mean, he's a
is on-
god. Like literally, he's a god.
And so like, and when it comes to Captain Marvel, I think she knows that too. Like she's on a different level than a lot of other people,
Yeah,
and that gives them a different stature. I mean,
yeah.
and then when it comes to like Hawkeye, you got he's looking up at everybody. He's like, oh god,
Dang it! All I can do is
What
use
am I
his
doing?
bow and arrow.
yeah. And Ant-Man,
No, freaking Scarlet Witch, dude.
Oh, yeah.
or not Scarlet Witch. What's her
shooting
name?
a
Black
bo-
Widow.
shooting a gun in the trailer. Like this is how I'm.
I have a
training.
1911. Pow pow pow. What are you gonna do with that, man?
Have you seen the Deadpool trailer for Endgame?
No, like it's a parody trailer.
It's a parody trailer, but like he's like, what is this gonna do? How is this gonna defeat that? Like, but
Oh, I have seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and it was so like because that's what everyone was thinking. Like, why is it showing her shooting a gun? Oh man.
Well, it's funny. Like even in Infinity War, she was about to die, and Scarlet Witch came out of nowhere and like saved her
yeah,
when
yeah.
they were on Wakanda. Like she's good for nothing, man. She's just good for story elements, and it's not even that good because like they had this little romance plot with Bruce Banner, little romance plot with Hawkeye. It's like this is just she's only there because she's Scarlett Johansson.
I mean, she has. Yeah, that's true. She's like the love interest that keeps
of
the guys,
everybody, which is
yeah,
weird.
keeps the guys entertained.
It's like who's she gonna like next? Like,
She might.
well, she's
might
getting a
go back.
standalone movie. You know that?
Yeah, and she might like be like working with. What's his?
I think
Hawkeye.
she's gonna have a good standalone movie because we've never really gotten like a. This is not a true statement. we never we don't have a lot of like standalone female spy like assassin movies.
Yeah, like we don't even have a lot. Well, yeah, there's what's it called? Atomic Blonde. There's
Yeah. I mean, there definitely exists, but not as much. I mean, obviously we have
we have
hundreds
a
and
Marvel
hundreds
version.
of male spy assassin type movies.
Yeah.
But because like another thing I'll say about Captain Marvel, and I said this last time I was talking about it, about what it did for like females and just how it like empowers females and gives them an actual superhero to look up to because they're she's relatable or whatever. And so I'm kind of happy that they're doing that with Black Widow.
Yeah, that's true. But what are they gonna do? Just go back in time again?
I guess.
We'll have to wait and see. April.
I do like her with her red hair.
For
For
early
I
April.
think it's like 29th.
Is it late?
It's the same weekend as the Magic the Gathering pre-release.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
That's gonna be a long weekend, man.
Yeah. I'm so excited for that pre-release. We're not allowed to talk about Magic in this podcast, though.
I think we can talk about Magic the Gathering all we want.
I really want to, because there's a bunch of new cards that got spoiled today, and I can keep talking about them.
Let's see. What's another one of my hobbies? I guess video games is a pretty big hobby of mine.
I wrote that one down.
It's the most chill hobby where I can just lay back, turn on my Switch, turn on my PlayStation, and just kind of get lost in a game. And I don't feel like with TV when I start a TV series or when I start watching anime or a movie or something, like I feel like I've got to be more invested. With a video game, it's just so chill for me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not like Apex Legends and stuff. That's a little more intense, but like single player games are really chill.
Yeah. I definitely don't consider myself a gamer, but all throughout my childhood and adult life, there's been some aspect of video game. Like Skyrim carried me through like high school and more adult stuff, and now I've been playing a lot of Overwatch. And I don't know, like the older I've gotten, like I've kind of ruled out like I don't need to be playing video games. But now has like esports become a thing, I'm like,
Yeah.
well, this is just like me going out and playing basketball now, because that's a sport.
I was
So-
talking to Mackenzie about that the other night about how I've never really like I enjoy NFL and I enjoy watching professional sports and watching college basketball and stuff, but the fact that I didn't really play those sports that much, and now there's like video games that I play. Like I play a lot of League of Legends, and it's the biggest esport in the world, and I have something to relate to, and I have a team to pull for. Like,
Yeah.
it's actually really cool, and that's the future now. I mean, 50 years from now, esports is going to be just as big as baseball and football and
Yeah, and like when my son is like, Dad, instead of like saying, Dad, come throw a ball with me, he'll be like, Dad, come play
let's play Overwatch
Gigabyte
together.
X14 with me, and I'll be like, all right, son, I know how to do that.
Since we're from the future, we know that Gigabyte X14 is
It's the premier esport.
It comes out in 2024.
Yep.
And if you're wondering what it's like, you basically are in a virtual reality.
And it's actually all you do is sit there silently, and it's a competitive silence game.
No, it's a reinvented
While
version
people
of
scream
Pong.
at your face.
It's Pong with
It's
extra
virtual ping
dimensions.
pong where you actually feel like you're playing real ping pong, but you're not because it's virtual,
and you're silent.
and you can't talk.
Sounds so boring.
No, what it is we're in a virtual reality world playing Pong on a 80s TV set against another player.
We just digress.
Yeah, we go.
That's how it is in Ready Player One. You know, they're playing like Pitfall and Pong and stuff.
Yeah,
in
a
the virtual
VR
reality world.
I'm like, what?
Like, dude, you can play that like on a TV. You don't have to go to the virtual reality world to
Yeah,
play that.
I know, it's weird. It's
Anyways.
like going skiing, and then like you go to the mountains to go ski, but you just like, dude, I can't even explain that. I don't know.
What if we could just attach something to our brains that give us all the sensations of skiing? Like, why would we go skiing anymore?
Because we care about our health. Like that would be my reason.
Well, I mean, but that being said, like skiing's dangerous. You can break your leg. I understand like running and lifting weights and stuff, but for like those adrenaline types of things, like why not just plug it into your
So
brain?
you're saying
and
like a
do it?
Matrix situation where
Yeah.
create
just
your
teach
own
yourself
world.
karate in 3 seconds.
Yeah,
Dude, that'd be so
I know,
cool.
black belt.
What would this is so unrelated to our topic, but what would be the first thing you guys would suck into your brain to learn for free?
If you
instantly.
learn anything,
Anything in the world. I'm trying to think.
well, I mean,
I think I would be combat. Like I would want to know martial arts, because think of how like cool that you would be more confident. You'd walk better. You'd be able to carry yourself better.
I would want to know how to like. I would want to download every programming language into my head and just
That
be able
would
to
be-
write computer programs
That'd be so
like it's a
valuable.
second language. Because like I already like learning about that stuff now.
Yeah.
And so that would just be cool.
For me, I feel like the first thought in my mind was learning how to fly a plane, but then I was like, why would I think about that?
That's not that hard to learn in general, though.
I'm trying
Like,
to think
think of something really hard to learn that.
How about
the meaning of life.
You can't quantify that. But what about like every thing about the stock market, and then like you learn that, and then you just go like make 10 trades, and like my account's now at $10 billion.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the same thing when I was wanting to learn programming, because then I could use that
You can
as
just
a
write
career.
an algorithm that
Yeah.
yeah.
But also on that same vein, just learning regular like learning. What if you could learn 50 languages?
Oh, yeah. That's like limitless. When I saw him learn like 3 languages, and I'm like, that appealed to me the most out of everything.
Yeah. Have you seen Lucy?
Yeah, that's a good.
That's how it
movie.
is. Like she just downloads things, or she ends up downloading herself onto a computer.
Yeah, the end of that movie.
The end
is
of that
so
movie.
weird.
It just gets out. It's not even. It's like
No,
what?
but that's why it's
Yeah.
so good. It's one of those movies. It's like this is so ridiculous that it's incredible.
Yeah, it's nice when you have a movie that's just you don't expect it. You don't undersee it coming, and
It's like
That did that.
okay, I get the concept of this movie, whatever, and then I'm sitting there watching. I probably watched it on TV or whatever, but that last 20 minutes, I'm like, what? Where did this take the turn
yeah,
to where it is? She's like controlling, like floating guns and like.
Yeah, like how did it get to that point?
And then she becomes a computer.
and then she goes back in time and touches a monkey, and then becomes the first human.
Yeah. What? She creates humanity, dude.
What is happening?
If you haven't seen Lucy, go watch Lucy. It's so
Scarlett
ridiculous.
Johansson, if you like her, go see her. As a female drug addict that becomes a
She's not a drug addict.
or she becomes like
These people are using her to smuggle drugs, and it accidentally like. How does it even happen?
Oh, that
again?
was super grotesque. I forgot about that. Well, am I thinking right?
Yeah. How does it happen again? Like.
They like put it inside her. Right?
Yeah.
no, like she's a mule.
Yeah.
and
She wasn't a drug addict. She was a drug mule.
They put it inside of her like lady parts, and
And it burst open.
it burst open, and that's why she became a superhuman.
The concept of that movie. Who pitched that? Like, who wrote that script?
What if that pill was a limitless pill, and then
That's
she just
basically
had
what it
too
was.
much of it, and so she became limitless.
Literally
same
limitless.
thing.
Limitless, literally. She becomes a female. I don't want to say god, but deity or something.
It's a weird movie, everybody.
It's so good though.
It is.
And by
It's
so good,
entertaining.
I just mean like it's just so ridiculous.
Yeah, it makes your imagination kind of like wander out there.
Like I probably wouldn't watch it again.
I'm one to now.
I kind of do, but
It's
at the
been
same
so
time, it's
long.
like it's just so stupid.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think.
What
of
about that
another-
other movie that
that
she's in?
Interstellar movie is like that. Kind of
Yeah.
just unfolds at the end.
What about the movie where she's like Ghost in the Shell?
I haven't seen that.
I haven't either.
I saw the first half. And
I heard it
kinda-
wasn't good, so I stayed away from it.
Yeah, I tapered off.
Yeah, I need to see Alita Battle Angel.
Yes, you
man.
do.
Is
Yes,
it still
you
in
do,
theaters
Clayton.
places?
It was last Tuesday.
Because the only thing that sucks about Shelby is they like rotate their movies so
Yeah.
like constantly. And
That-
get the
that
newest
was in
movies
Charlotte. So I'm not sure.
I'll probably find it on the internet somewhere on the.
Make sure like when you watch it, do it justice. At least get it in Blu-ray. Like if you're not gonna see it in theaters, which is where you need to see it, then
I can find a 1080p torrent.
don't you dare, Clayton.
Don't torrent it.
No, because you can torrent anything else in this world, but do not torrent that movie. Because I want them to be supported.
I'll figure out where to send the money, and I'll torrent it and send $10 off to like the production studio
Oh, okay, whatever.
with a handwritten note that says, "Please make the
A
second
sequel,
movie."
yeah.
I know I'm gonna like it. It's
No,
my type of stuff.
I overhyped it for you though. I know I did. I've overhyped it.
Not
for
really.
Both of you.
I think I was pretty hype about it. I don't guess I was hype enough to go see it in the movies. Like
I wasn't hype at all for it.
I think it looks
Yeah, I
really
know.
good. I've really been liking movies lately with like strong female leads.
Yeah.
Because it's just Hollywood's finally breaking out of their shell, and
Yeah.
and there were some great like actresses like in Us. Lupita Nyong'o is such a good actress,
Yeah.
and seeing her do her stuff is really cool.
Yeah. She did do a good job.
I kind of like the movies that are starring like black people. Like I'm liking that a lot more too. Like Black Panther.
Are
like,
you?
I am. Like that was a really good movie.
Well, I mean, we're finally breaking away from this dumb world where Tyler Perry is the only black director in Hollywood, and he's just making Medea goes to jail.
Yeah,
and
that was. I mean, those movies were good though. Like they had good intentions behind it. Like there was some seriousness to it, and there was also some funny stuff.
But also they were all cookie cutter. Like they're all the same movie. It's just let's write the plot slightly differently.
Yeah.
And it just got old. That's why Jordan Peele's stuff is really
Phenomenal,
good. He on CBS All Access, he's bringing back Twilight Zone.
I heard that.
He's the host of it. That's a big deal. Because I mean, that's a beloved like show from the past.
Has that started or is
I don't know.
that coming out?
I don't
soon?
think it started yet. It starts pretty soon though, but you can only get it on CBS All Access, which is CBS's paid streaming service, which I have. I don't for some reason. I know I have. I have it because during Big Brother season, I watch the live feeds.
Oh, okay.
Okay, wait. This brings up a good point. We're talking about hobbies here. During the summertime, I spend lots and lots of hours watching Big Brother, the reality TV show. And like I'm a super fan of that show. Because
So, can you explain what that is? Because I've heard of it.
So
It
basically-
sounds like it's just a drama show. Like,
it's not drama. It's a competition. They take 16 people into a house, and each week they have competitions where whoever wins, they get to nominate people, and then they have another competition where they can get themselves off the nomination block, and then they have evictions every week. But the people in the house, 16 people in the house, are on camera 24/7, and you can watch the live feeds and everything. It's kind of a social experiment, and
I could see that being entertaining.
it's really entertaining.
I feel like the things I've seen of it are just like girls fighting.
Well, see, that's
Yeah.
the thing. That's like when they're showing the commercials, they're gonna show the things that's like that. But that's not what you start to really like people in the show, like their characters. I mean, they're not really characters because they're real people, but they cast people specifically because they are characters. And I don't know. It's just once you watch like the first 3 weeks it comes out every summer. Once you watch the first 3 weeks, you're just hooked. Like you have to know the outcome at that point.
And you're talking about Big Brother?
Yeah, I mean,
what about
it's
the one that just came out
what
over the winter?
that was a Celebrity Big Brother.
Oh, so they do like year-round stuff?
They've only started doing that recently. So they've only had 2 Celebrity Big Brothers. So like there's 20 regular seasons of Big Brother. It started back in like 2001, and since then they've had 2 Celebrity Big Brothers, one that they did only online called Over the Top, and then now
I've
they
heard about
have
that
Big Brother Canada, which a lot of people like. So Canada started doing it. They're in like season 6 or whatever. But I'm like a big super fan of that show, and even in the off season sometimes
But why? What makes you a super fan?
just because I love it, man. What do you mean?
Like, explain it to me, because I'm not a fan, and I would like to maybe be a fan one day.
Well, here's the thing. In order to be, I think, the fan that I am, like in order to recommend this show to other people, I would have to recommend they go watch like previous seasons, because they've kind of snowballed it into like they've got this formula now, and it's a lot more about the drama and
Yeah.
But if you go watch like season 2 was insanely good, season 10 insanely good, so season 8 great. So if you go back and watch those, that in the early days of the show, they were just letting it be a social experiment. Like they're throwing 16 people in a house and see what happens basically, and that it's just really interesting to watch that. So like I think if you're trying to get somebody new in the show, you say, okay, go back and watch season 10, and then just the love of like the lore of the show makes you want to watch the new seasons. Because I definitely, and most Big Brother fans agree that the old seasons are the best. Like they're not getting better. They're just they're still entertaining. They're still good, but we're past the days of like the best parts of the show.
Yeah, it's because like how long can you sip that wine until it gets to the point where you don't want any wine anymore?
But the thing about it is, like, it's the type of show that they could do it for 50 more years, because the whole show is based around a different group of 16 people every year. So like it's never gonna be the same. So I guess that's one of my hobbies is Big Brother. I used to watch a lot of Survivor too, which is like the same concept. So basically Big Brother is the same concept as Survivor. It's just they're in a house and not stranded on an island, and it's a lot longer. It's like 100 days when Survivor's like 30 days.
So there's definitely a theme with that kind of show. I would like to see something like even more extreme than surviving, like maybe some kind of like some horrible stuff. See how people react, which has kind of happened like with like simulating horrible events. But I don't know, maybe like I don't want to see people get tortured, but I want to see how people react in like extreme circumstances.
Yeah.
And Survivor to me doesn't seem extreme because like they're just surrounded by cameras all the time. So I don't know how
Yeah.
you even create that kind of scenario.
But I mean, they're
just a thought.
still restricted. Like they can't get any assistance from the production crew or whatever. But they
Yeah.
do know that like, oh, if they break their leg, they're gonna get medical assistance or whatever.
Oh, it's like that movie that I saw. It was a new movie, and they were being recorded. I'll come back with it later.
You know the story, The Most Dangerous Game?
Was that with like Michael Douglas?
I don't. Was it a movie? I don't know. I
I
guess
know
it
it's
was.
a famous book.
It was a famous book, and there's probably I think there was a movie in like the 80s or whatever. But it's
Yeah.
basically like this rich dude is like a big game hunter, and like he just loves hunting like animals and stuff. But that got boring to him, so like he started getting people brought to his private island, and he would hunt them.
No, this isn't that.
Yeah, and so like it was like this ultimate challenge because you can hunt a bear, you can hunt a tiger, whatever. You can like study their patterns, but like humans are like the ultimate predators. So, like hunting humans was like, yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. Now that I think about
They
it, I'm like,
definitely have a movie. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
watching that movie, and it was I think it was
they
maybe,
have like you remember
maybe
the
made in
famous
the 60s
trap
actually.
that they've made,
I can't remember. It's
the
been a long time since I watched it.
Siberian tiger trap or whatever. That was
Oh,
used
yeah.
to.
But see, I wonder how they could do something like that, like now, like something on that scale. Like obviously,
You couldn't
that
kill
you couldn't
people.
kill the people,
And you
but
couldn't-
like
Well,
how do
if-
how do you
cause
have the
harm.
same stakes?
You already have it in Predator movies.
No, but I'm saying in a reality TV show. Like, how do
Reality?
you have the same type of stakes?
You couldn't because there's no like death is the stake.
Yeah, because there'd be so
You got to
many
get people to
contracts.
sign on. Like,
Yeah.
I'm willing to die.
That's not gonna unless that would be turning into gladiatorial games.
Well,
which-
there's a
The
movie,
Hunger
the one I'm
Games.
talking about with Michael Douglas, where he's a rich guy that like doesn't, and that's why I thought it was the same thing. But he doesn't like his life is, he's got everything, so he's not happy. And his family for his birthday orders this thing where this company creates this scenario, and it's like a life and death scenario, and they have like he gets involved in this super secret organization, and all this stuff happens, and like it's life death, it's scary, and he has to like work through it. But it's all put on like as a show, and then at the end, like all these people that he's like gotten so close to because they just went through life and death together, they're just like, oh, we were just acting, and here's all your friends and family celebrating at the end.
Yeah. Have you
Dude,
seen the Truman Show
Yeah,
with Jim
that's-
Carrey?
that's
It's the same type of thing. I mean, it's not like
yeah.
it's not like life or death type stakes, but it's the same type of like social experiment type thing.
yeah.
The Truman Show would be interesting.
Are you talking about that show where the guy?
It's a movie.
Oh well, there's a show on Netflix where the guy like tricks the man into like saving somebody's life.
Mm-mm.
That he actually like
no
this man is like prejudiced against Mexican people,
oh
and he actually tricks him into like he doesn't really trick him. He just gets him and put the right motivations and the right like set of like it was so weird, but he actually did try to save that person. It was so
and that
like
like
inspiring.
turned his perception of that
Yeah,
those
like-
people over. That's
like
good.
it was incredible. It was like beautiful. But,
I like that.
He even like got shot and thought he was gonna die, and he was looking down on his shot and he's crying, and then they were just like, all right, we're done. Like,
Yeah.
and he was like, what? Like he was still in shock because he thought he was dead, but like it was all fake. Like, can you imagine?
That's crazy.
Like, oh man, it's just beautiful.
Thinking about doing something like the Truman Show is like it's not like how do you justify that morally? Because
I
you
don't know.
have to get a kid or a baby at an early age and just
Well,
put
that-
them in this.
Well, that's not even
scenario.
legal, is it?
No, it's definitely not legal. But
What if you signed a contract when you turned 18 and like you had to be willing to do it and say within the next 30 years there's going to be an event that happens to you and you won't know it, but we're going to put you in this scenario that's going to be very shocking and scary, but like that it's the next 30 years.
yeah, but
That would be a lot of pre-production.
what's the incentive to sign off on it?
Because like you get to be in front of millions of people.
Yeah, and like money and everything, maybe. But then over the next 30 years, every bad thing that happens to you is just like every bad thing that happens to you, you're gonna think about it differently.
It's so
True.
much more beautiful if they don't know.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like time. Maybe they'll forget. But if
This is why
expecting
I
money,
like anime so much, because they can explore these things,
Yeah.
and it's fake. Like obviously they can do it in live action too, but that's why anime is so good.
You know what I want? I want to. Speaking of Dangerous Game, I want them to make
to
a show.
hunt people.
No. I want a show where it shows like think of Battle Royale. You only see from your own perspective. But what if there was a movie or a show that in every episode was a different perspective on a
That'd be
person,
cool.
and then like at the end of the episode they either kill somebody else or they die,
Yeah.
and then in the next episode it's the other person who died or
What if
killed.
what if an extra layer to this, the audience is who decided whether or not they get killed or they die?
Whoa.
Have you seen Bandersnatch on Netflix?
No.
It's this movie where you make the decisions.
How is that even possible?
So like every now and again, it'll pop up yes or no on the screen, or give you two options. You choose one or the other
Well, how do you choose if it's
With-
in
with the remote.
Netflix?
Yeah.
What?
And then so based on whatever you choose, they will go through a different scenario. So they shot like not hundreds. They shot a bunch of different scenarios, and you could watch that movie like a ton of different times and never get the same. Like could go down the same paths.
That's insane.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really good. I mean, it's good. You just have to watch it. It depends on, like, me and Mackenzie didn't. We got a terrible ending. Like, the ending was not very, it was really anticlimactic.
Oh.
But then some people got, like, really good endings.
Interesting.
Well, we've been talking long enough, I guess. These people listening don't want to hear us anymore.
All right.
Yeah.
I can sense it, because, I mean, they are in the past.
They've already heard it.
I guess, actually, they're in the future.
We already did a survey on how this episode was perceived and like went back and rewrote
Yeah,
it.
see, they already heard it.
This optimized.
This is the perfect iteration of this episode, because
It's
we've actually
optimized.
recorded it a couple hundred times.
Every interjection, every comment is planned.
Yeah, it's planned. So like we said, this is episode 20. Well, first of all, you guys got anything else to say about hobbies?
I like cooking, and I like the
I
outdoors.
like cooking
and
too.
camping.
Let's talk about cooking. Dude, we got a lot more to talk about.
Yeah.
We got to do hobbies part 2. Because camping is a big one that we didn't hit on.
Yeah, we used to camp too. Like,
Oh,
I
hey
have the GoPro
viewers!
images.
I asked these guys if they wanted to do a outdoors one where we
Yeah.
we hike and do stuff. I didn't get a
Yeah.
response, and I think that was a great
Getting a
idea.
response from us?
Yeah, you guys didn't
Me and you
respond.
talked about it.
Yeah, but I texted you guys and you didn't respond because I think it'd
Clayton
be
never
awesome.
texts us back.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, I know.
I talked to you about it in real life.
But you still think it's a good idea?
Yeah.
'Cause
I was
we-
actually going to talk to you about that after this episode, because I've got it
Awesome.
on my calendar.
Because we can do an in the wild, and if this is like
We can even talk in a British accent. Here we are in the middle of the jungle.
That's Australian. What are you talking about, mate?
we'll make that joke if we do that at some point. It'd probably be Hunter.
Okay, so this
Yeah.
being said, we're gonna have a part 2 of we're gonna talk about hobbies, just things we're into more going forward, like hiking and camping and backpacking and stuff.
Paper stitching.
Paper stitching,
Yodeling.
creating dungeon tiles. I got into that for a while.
I was kidding about paper stitching.
You know what I got into?
I was too.
Oh.
I got into buying those like Gundam things that like come in like plastic sheets, and you had to take the stuff out of it,
Yeah,
like, and you had to
Oh,
cut
like
it with
model making basically.
yeah,
Oh,
model
yeah,
making,
okay.
yeah. And
All right, yeah, we got a lot more to talk about, but we're at an hour, so we're gonna wrap this up. So
yeah,
I guess just look forward to in the future, or in the past, since you are in the past. Look forward to another episode. But so as we said, this is episode 20. We're gonna be taking a 1 week break next week. So our next podcast will be. Let me look at the date real quick. I want to make sure.
if you miss us, let us know in the comments.
So we're posting this episode on the 10th, and then so the 17th there won't be an episode, and on the 24th. So okay, the next episode's on the 24th.
Word.
For you guys listening. It's
Yep.
just scheduling is weird. And I probably got that wrong. Who knows? Just okay, here's how to know. Subscribe. If you're
Yeah.
subscribed to the podcast, then it doesn't matter what day it is. It's just going to pop up on your phone and say, "Hey, there's a new podcast episode." So do that. Follow us on the socials, on Instagram, on Twitter, at Young Adult Guide on Twitter, at Young Adults Guide on Instagram with an S there. And just comment. Let us know what you think. Give us ideas. We're looking for some community engagement.
So for the first person that comments their idea for an episode,
we'll give them $20.
within reason, we will make
Okay,
it
that's
happen.
on you now.
No, within reason, we will make that episode happen. So that's an incentive.
You could.
No, how about this? the 100th comment will get $100.
Yeah, if we get 100 comments on this podcast, I will give somebody $100.
I'll give $100, so $1 to each one. So everybody gets $1 if you comment.
Yeah.
Uh,
Now
I
everybody
don't
gets
know.
$1. You
Yeah.
guys,
Think about that, though, Sid.
but
If we say that, then what if there's a million?
I said up to 100. I said $100.
Okay.
but are
okay.
you really incentivized to comment on a video for $1?
Yeah. We'll just get comments like, but cheese.
And also,
Just
One guy
I
just does 100 comments.
Also,
yeah.
it-
Oh my God.
also, if you have to be the 100th comment, you'll never comment because
True.
I'm the first comment. Well, this is pointless.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
That's why I said first comment will make an episode.
Here's
out
what
of
I'm gonna say:
it. I think we can commit to that.
we're not promising anyone any money because
Yeah,
that's
that's-
very hard logistically.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyways, it was a fun one this week. It was kind of sporadic, kind of all over the place, but that's okay because we're just having good conversation. What did we figure out about life this week?
It's complicated.
That's true.
I think we figured out it's fun to talk about hobbies and share what we enjoy doing, and it's fun. Just share that. Sharing.
Sharing is caring.
Oh, yeah. I think we got that at the same time.
All right. Well, we'll talk at you not next week, but the next week. Hope everybody has a good rest of the week.
Enjoy the weather. It's nice out.
What are you laughing about, dude?
Good speed.
I can't do this. You gotta do this.
You have to do.
Godspeed
and good conversations.
If you want to join the conversation, make sure to join us on Twitter at Young Adult Guide and Instagram at Young Adults Guide.
And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell if you want to be notified. Like, comment, and join the conversation.
Talk to you next week.